Welcome to the critical reflection for my ACE Media Studies final project, The Taken, a film displaying the story of a group of teenagers who begin to investigate a series of kidnappings after one of their friends unexpectedly goes missing. Research for our film involved analyzing the movies The Blair Witch Project, The Invisible Man, and A Quiet Place to properly gain an understanding for media conventions. Each of the three movies provided an emphasis on underlying themes common between psychological horror and thriller films. Purposefully, we included music throughout most of the opening sequence in order to properly capture the eerie and suspenseful feeling we meant to establish early into the intro. We did so by incorporating the song Tonight You Belong to Me by Prudence and Patience. Through such inclusions, however, we challenged the main convention we researched in A Quiet Place, in that most of the movie is focused on producing similar builds of suspense using silence and the ambient sounds found within the area, whereas ours was mainly through perspective, sound effects, and the music. However, we used conventions found in our research through our usage of a POV shot from the perspective of one of our main characters. Through this, we hope to engage the audience right into the action and add a sense of instinctive fear as the character's POV turns to look around. We found many shots like this utilized thoroughly in the scenes of the Blair Witch Project from similar POVs of the main characters. As such, our use of this convention was meant to relay a parallel meaning of fear/eeriness in being stalked like prey by something or someone unknown. On the other hand, another way we challenged conventions was through the use of a swiftly paced and clip montage sequence showcasing our main character as he progresses through trying to make his way home, making sure to emphasize the clear passage of time being set in our scenes, rather than the longer takes distinctly featured in A Quiet Place, shot from either a wide shot or high angles, or even more, the combination of both to illustrate the slower progression of time displayed in A Quiet Place. We differ from this, however, in that we made sure to include various different shots like this long shot through the tunnel, and several low shots like this one, all in the hopes of creating a quicker sense of progression through time for the audience as the character travels throughout the opening sequence. To close on how we utilize conventions found in our research, another similarity we chose to use for our film is through our title card, which we made sure kept parallel text formats and themes throughout the movies, with similar darker and unsettling backgrounds to provide an emphasis on the title directly in the center, as seen in this one from A Quiet Place, The Blair Witch Project, The Invisible Man, and finally our own, The Taken. Our film mainly aims to engage the audience of teenagers or even young adults. We did so by introducing our main characters in the beginning as your run-of-the-mill teenager, as they are portrayed in the group setting as relaxed and having fun with their friends. However, we then choose to turn this theme upside down by involving the darker concept of kidnapping/abduction through the inclusion of edited news clips showcasing an alarming amount of missing persons cases, also meaning to add context to our unknown stalker as being responsible for these cases presented while introducing a common underlying sense of fear presented to younger audiences, or more so, their parents. Through our presentation of the main characters as being the average group of friends, we meant to appeal to a larger demographic between teenagers and young adults by simulating a relatable experience of them casually hanging out in the beginning, which served to establish a feeling of ease which then quickly stokes the eerie vibe we hope can be felt by the targeted audience as the sequence goes on. To properly market our film, we would begin by establishing a connection with the younger demographic by creating a social media presence for our film, like this one made on Twitter for the upcoming sequel to A Quiet Place. Then from there, we would make sure to establish an IMDb profile, likewise to our research of our example movies, promoting the film, its release, insider info, and the other social media platforms we would be using to reinforce our outreach/interaction with the audience. An example of this being the IMDb profile page of The Invisible Man. Though as a result of current COVID health concerns, before premiering at any film festival, we would first have to go to a reliable and in-demand streaming service like Amazon Prime Video, HBO Max, or Netflix to help reach more of an audience. We would then hope to release our film at a popular horror film festival like Shriekfest, as it is, and I quote, an international horror and sci-fi film festival and screenplay competition and the longest-running horror festival in Los Angeles and Orlando, sometime between early October and early November, as the Halloween season would be in its peak intensity. After this, depending on its recognition, we would then release to local theaters first before moving on to more widely known theaters like Regal Entertainment. My production skills gradually improved throughout each iteration and edit of our film. The first improvement I saw was how we changed up our shots from earlier, honestly messier renditions of the film. One such instance is this footage of our original confrontation between the stalker and our main character, which is shaky, shot at a basic angle, and hard to really experience due to the light conditions. Until we were finally able to improve upon this through our final stalker and main character confrontation, which displays a large amount of progress of production skill, through the minute detail of the focus pull from the stone wall to the main character, to the movement engaged through the POV shot, and finally the low to high movement of the POV sliding towards the main character, which helps to add a meaning of fear for the main character as he is being stalked like prey. Additionally, another example of this was the change from this POV shot showing the board game, which failed to show any real group cohesiveness and failed to add meaning in terms of creating casual setting, to this two-shot/master shot displaying the character's emotions and carefree feeling that can be recognized as relatable for the audience. Our main integration of recording technology was through the usage of the iPhone XR, which helped to film in 4K capabilities, making our scenes appear far more professional, and also the detail of the focus pull, which was ideal for creating the eerie movement near the end of the opening sequence. This iPhone also helped in technology integration as it gave free access to the editing software iMovie. Through iMovie, our main source for editing, we were able to properly inlay music throughout the opening sequence, insert the news clips, and even record/fit in high-quality sounds/dialogue that all helped to establish the overall meaning of creeping fear within the film. Our further integration of technology involved the research done by all of us for the project, which was mainly conducted on sites/streaming services such as IMDb, Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and YouTube. These online services were pivotal for the inspiration and construction of our opening sequence, as we sought and challenged conventions we found from the example movies. And thus concludes my critical reflection of our film, The Taken, created by me, Kristian Damaso, and my group members Ben Schwartz and Dylan Fenton. I hope you enjoyed the movie, and I hope you have a nice day.